Hi, I'm Sal. Now continuing the book of Hebrews in chapter 7. As we look at chapter 7, we know that we have an unknown writer of this book. But he's referencing in this particular, when you're looking at verses 1 through 28, he's referencing Old Testament references and, two specific scriptures. That's Genesis 14, verse 18 through 20, and Psalms 110, verse 4. Let's read them. And Melchizedek, the king of Salem, and a priest of God Most High, brought Abram some bread and wine. Melchizedek blessed Abram with his blessing. Blessed be Abram by God Most High, creator of heaven and earth. And blessed be God Most High, who has defeated your enemies for you. Then Abram gave Melchizedek a tenth of all the goods he had recovered. We also read it in Psalms 110:4, saying that the Lord has taken an oath and will not break his vow. You are a priest forever in the order of Melchizedek. So there's a lot of emphasis in the book of Hebrews about Melchizedek because it's it creates or tries to create a parallels to Jesus Christ and a sort of a, as it mentioned, as the prototype of the coming Messiah. Uh, Here in 110 verse 4 is referring to King David as he performed some priestly functions, especially when he supervised or led the worship surrounding the arrival of the Ark of the Covenant, and as well as that he has some authority over some of the priests because he was supervising the Levites. Now, Melchizedek was both a king and a priest, which was a common combination in ancient times. But if you look further at some of the names that involved here, the way that things are called out, you're starting to see some parallels. Salem was later renamed Jerusalem. Melchizedek's name means king of righteousness, and the word Salem means peace. And so, king of peace, Jerusalem, righteousness. So you can see the parallels. At least I'm seeing it. But look for yourself. In chapter 7, it furthers the explain the superiority of Christ's priesthood to that of this unique high priest, who was a type of a Christ in certain respects. Now, Melchizedek is the focal point of the epistle to the Hebrews because it's a detailed comparison of that priesthood of Christ and also the Levitical high priesthood. And we know that he only appeared briefly in the Old Testament. Yet our author sees in Melchizedek a type of a figure of Christ and draws parallels between the two and over as you read chapter 7, even starts in even in chapter 5. So Melchizedek, we know that we don't have any record of his parents. So it's like he's without parents, mother and father. Well, it's not that he didn't have mother and father, it's because we don't know his genealogy was not captured or preserved. And unfortunately, the genealogy was very essential to a priest. And for under the Levitical system, what could not serve if he could not prove his pedigree? But here he was by divine appointment. So Melchizedek had no papers. Further, he's without beginning and ending due to the Old Testament ever mentioning his birth or his death. So the author explicitly states his point that he declares that Melchizedek is made like or resembles the Son of God. God himself first made the similar connection on Psalm 110, verse 4, when he said, Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. So Melchizedek gave his message and disappeared. He did not stay permanently to function the office of a priest or a king. So whomever this man was, he presided as the king of Salem, which is an historical city at that time. Now, when Scripture compares Christ to the Melchizedek priest, it states that he was made like the Son of God, or but not that he is the Son of God. And you find that in Hebrews 7, verse 3. What are stressed are some similarities about paralleled in ministry, but not in the nature of his being. In this way, he was a type of a Christ in his mediatorial office, but he was not Christ himself. So, in closing, the Messiah was a priest by divine declaration, but not human descent. Melchizedek became a prototype of the Messiah, whose priesthood was not based upon connection with the line of Aaron, but was by divine decree. I hope this blesses you and causes you to search the scriptures for yourself. Dig deep and you'll find blessings. Have a blessed day.